Penalties in football. What is a penalty? Well, in this video, I will go through what a penalty is, the different types of penalties, and lastly, 3 ways in which modern day penalties are taken. Before we get into it, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share. What is a penalty? Well, a penalty kick is a method of restarting play in football. A penalty kick is taken 12 yards away from the center of the goal line at the penalty spot. With this kick, one player is allowed a single shot at goal while it is defended by the opposing team's goalkeeper. There are a few rules to remember as it relates to penalties. Firstly, all players except the kicker and the goalkeeper should be behind the 18-yard box for the taking of the penalty. Secondly, the kicker is not allowed to come to a complete stop during his run-up to taking the penalty kick. Thirdly, the goalkeeper should have at least 1 foot on the goal line at the time that the kicker's foot connects with the ball for a possible save to count. If this is not done, then the penalty will have to be retaken. And lastly, there is the encroachment rule. This is when players other than the penalty taker or the defending goalkeeper enters the penalty box before the penalty kick is taken. If a defending player enters the box before the kick is taken, the penalty is saved and that player makes contact with the ball, then the penalty has to be retaken. So there are 2 different types of penalty scenarios. The one I just explained that can be given during the game and a penalty shootout. Now, I will explain the latter. A penalty shootout is the last method used to decide a game where there needs to be a winner, and this is only done in knockout competitions and not league games. A penalty shootout will only happen if the game is still tied after full time and extra time. Both teams should have the same amount of players entering the shootout, so if one team is down to 10 men, the other team has to sacrifice 1 player who will not be allowed to take part. There is a coin toss between both captains and the winner gets to decide if he wants to shoot first or second. The shootout is taken alternatively. Each team has 5 kickers, both teams stand at the halfway line, and each kicker has to walk from the halfway line to the penalty spot to kick. If at the end of those 10 kicks the game is still tied, then it goes to sudden death, where each team gets to send 1 kicker at a time until one team misses and the other scores. The winner of the shootout is the winner of the game. Modern day penalties are more of an art than luck. Goalkeepers are doing research on kickers, and kickers are finding ways to trick goalkeepers. It really is a mind game. Here are 3 ways in which a modern day penalty is taken. The first is what I like to call run up, head down and smash. This method is not used as much in modern day football because if the goalkeeper goes the right way, then there's a chance that he might save it. This method is called the goalkeeper independent strategy. The second one is the disguise kick. Here, the kicker acts as if he is definitely going one way, and then at the very last moment swivels his hips and goes in the opposite direction, tricking the goalkeeper in the process. And the third penalty is a goalkeeper dependent penalty. In this penalty, the kicker waits on the goalkeeper to make a move one way before going to the next. This method requires great skill and technique and can be a tad bit embarrassing if it goes wrong. Well, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Big up Gunna's podcast.
The Gunners Podcast.